18th century Europe. A harsh winter swept across the frozen fields of Yorkshire, burying thatched cottages and rugged dirt roads under layers of snow. In this poor village, people bowed to their fate, accepting a life of endless toil in the fields. But Edmund refused to live that way. He dreamed of a different life, a life of wealth, respect, and freedom from the backbreaking labor his parents endured. Yet, such dreams were not for the weak. Edmund soon realized that only iron discipline could help him escape poverty. That year, Edmund turned 16. It was also the year his father died of malaria, leaving him with his aging mother and a mountain of debt. "Stop dreaming, Edmund," scoffed the landlord Richard. "I'll give you one harvest to pay what you owe. If not, your house will be mine." Edmund clenched his fists. He couldn't let his mother lose their home, nor could he let himself remain trapped in this life. From that day forward, he made a vow. Every day, no matter what, I must do something that brings me closer to my goal. That was the first day of his journey, a journey of self-discipline to change his fate. At dawn, when mist still covered the fields, Edmund was already at work, harvesting crops and loading carts. While others worked just enough to survive, he worked twice as hard. But farming alone would never change his fate. Each evening, as the villagers gathered around their hearths, Edmund walked 10 miles to town. He eavesdropped on merchants discussing trade, listening intently to every word about prices, investments, and business tactics. Tired? Yes. Tempted to quit? Many times. But he had made a vow, and his discipline would not allow him to break it. The following spring, Edmund saved enough money to buy a sack of barley, intending to sell it in town for a higher price. But that night, bandits raided the village. They burned storehouses and stole everything. Edmund's barley sack was gone. The others accepted their misfortune. But Edmund did not. The next morning, while the villagers mourned their losses, he grabbed a hoe and planted the few seeds he had left. "They can take everything from me, but they can't take my discipline." No one believed he could recover. But 3 months later, his small crop was the only one left standing. He sold it for 3 times the normal price, turning disaster into an opportunity to rise. This was when he realized, discipline not only pushes you forward, but keeps you standing when the world falls apart. Edmund gradually became a small trader, but his greatest challenge came when he decided to open a barley shop in town. The seasoned merchants laughed. "A mere farmer trying to be a shop owner? Go back to the fields, boy." He didn't argue. Their words didn't matter. His discipline did. Every day, he arrived at the market before sunrise, meeting customers, studying prices, and absorbing every lesson he could. While other merchants grew lazy from their wealth, Edmund remained relentless. 2 years later, as many shops collapsed due to poor management, Edmund's store thrived. Not because of luck, but because his discipline never wavered. 10 years later, Edmund returned to his village. But this time, he came back as a wealthy merchant, no longer the poor farm boy he once was. The villagers looked at him with admiration. The once powerful landlord, Richard, had lost everything due to reckless spending, while Edmund stood tall, built on a foundation of discipline and perseverance. Gazing at the fields that had shaped him, Edmund whispered, "The one thing no one can ever take from me is my discipline." Lessons from the story. No one is born strong, but discipline makes you unbreakable. Discipline not only drives you forward, but also keeps you standing in the face of failure. Success does not belong to those who work only when they feel like it. It belongs to those who work even when they don't want to. So, do you have the discipline to chase your dreams today?